about 6 months before I came here to live and develop this children's home. It's called True Moon. And on the cover you'll see a smiling moon, which is actually a photograph superimposed on this artwork of the smiling moon with two planets. I believe it's Venus and Mars. No, maybe it's Jupiter and Mars. And I'm going to tell you, if you would just for a moment turn around and look at the sky, right above you right now, you see the very same configuration, except there's only one planet. So we've got a winking moon instead of a smiling moon tonight. But that's the very moon that the children called me out of the house. I was having supper. Said, "Papa, Papa, come and see." And here was the smiling face in the sky. Well, the first line of my book, written in Seattle, where we do not have smiling crescent moons. We have ears for crescent moons in the Pacific Northwest. But the first line was, one night after many dark moonless nights when the stars shone brightly, a silver sliver appeared, a shy smile in the sky. And then I come to Cambodia and there's the shy, well, I don't know, is that a shy smile? A nice smile in the sky. Well, as the moon waxes and begins to travel across the sky, it gets bigger and bigger and brighter until eventually over Paris, he's so bright that he makes it look like it's day. He's getting pretty proud of himself. He appears in a moonrise of beautiful colors over New York Harbor. And he says the stars can twinkle and the planets can beam, but only I can flood the sky with light and bathe the earth. My light is so bright the stars fade into space unseen. Pretty boastful. Well, but then all of a sudden something begins to happen. He begins to wane and disappear. And he gets all those stars that had disappeared are now having a great time playing in the sky all night long. Pisces dancing around, and he's just gone. Well, he starts to come back over the blue mosque of Istanbul, and this time as he travels across the sky, he looks somewhat more deeply into himself as he crosses the Pacific, probably somewhere near Hawaii down. He looks more deeply into himself, and he discovers that he doesn't have his own light. That all his light comes from the sun. He just is reflecting the light of the sun, whereas the stars and the planets have their own light. So now he's really kind of depressed. This is over Portland, Oregon, where my artist is from. She did a beautiful job illustrating. Well, then there's a new moon over the Great Wall of China, and as he returns over the skies of Moscow, he looks even more deeply into himself. And this time, he realizes that he has his place in the universe, along with the stars and the planets. He gives people a reason to gaze and a chance to dance. He gives the tides a way to rise, to cleanse the shores. He even gives this beautiful flower, the night-blooming cereus, which also blooms in Hawaii and here in Southeast Asia. It only blooms on a full moon night. So they need him. He's interconnected and interbeing with everything in the universe as one. So now he's got a smile on his face again over the Mexican temples, and then over one of the greatest temples in the world, Angkor Wat. He becomes enlightened. The moon was blue no longer. It was a true moon. So this is the story of True Moon, a children's book, but I think you can see as well a tale for adults about discovering our true self. Unfortunately, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, we sold our last copy. About 350 copies have been sold and benefit the children's home. But it is available online. So if you take your program and your flyer tonight and go to the website, there's a link for multimedia, and the book is, you can actually see several pages on the website, and you can order it online. So I hope that you might support the Children's Home with a purchase of this for your children, grandchildren, or whatever. True Moon. All right, that brings us to our next popular dance, folk dance. It's called the Fisherman Dance. Again, many of you may have had a chance to go out to the Tonle Sap Lake, where you see fishermen in their floating villages and all the way up the river to Battambang. Some of you maybe have taken that trip.